one school of thought, for instance. You know, there's not just one like list of rules. You know, Sharia has many branches. So that's when I discovered the kind of different opinions also within Islam.
So you started your own search also, because we feel the different premise. I think it's important to highlight this issue, because a lot of the non-Muslims are really getting lost. They don't understand. They see a man with a beard, they see a look, and they think, well, look what Islam makes valid. So this is so important to hear the voice of those who are not Muslims and embrace Islam and start searching for the truth, because even if you become a Muslim still, there is so much to learn about the religion.
That's true. I mean, at that point, of course, you're going to be tested. There's going to be lots of tests. And as you asked in your question, you know, how will it affect my heart?
Yes.
Well, to be honest, when I read the Quran, there was no particular reference, no clear reference to music or music business, or, you know, although there were many references, of course, towards issues like vanity, towards, you know, excessive luxury and overindulgence, greed, you know, and sex and all those kinds of things, if you know what I mean. So there are guidelines regarding a way of life, but no specific reference to music. So then I found hadith and sayings of the Prophet, peace be upon him. They were more clear about this issue. Although, at one point, I was being told on the one hand that, you know, it is completely forbidden, and on the other hand, I found that there were other opinions that there was some allowance, but within, you know, restricted guidelines. So anyway, at that point, I didn't want to do anything wrong. I didn't want to risk, you know, my future. So I decided to leave everything until I had more knowledge, and that's what I did. So I sold my instrument, and at that point it was really a cut in the relationship between myself and my past. I think that cut was a bit harsh, because now I'm hearing that many people, you know, could have maybe come a bit closer to Islam if I hadn't done it in such a harsh, abrupt way. That's something I learned.
Because there are many paths you could have just readily diminished a few issues that you wouldn't feel comfortable about, but still, you know, forward the beautiful message with the beautiful words, and just change the songs, and still be there for all those who loved you at that time.
Well,
Alhamdulillah, it's never too late.
No, that's never too late, and that's why I'm now today, for instance, looking at some of the old songs which I recorded, Peace Train, for instance. I mean, there's the message of Islam. Islam, the word comes from Salam. Salam is peace. So it was already in my work, in my dreams, in my words, but I hadn't discovered it. Now that I look back at my songs, there are certain songs which quite clearly are halal. You know, no problem with those words. So I've now come to the point where I'm trying to reconnect with those people in the West who really honestly need to know something better about this, and they need a better approach. Because they like those songs, and because they like, you know, beauty and aesthetics, they miss it. So I'm now trying to get in contact with them through reproducing within Islamic guidelines good songs, good words, and good rhythms, something they can be attracted to.
And you did very well, mashallah. Let's have a look at what I would say a comparison of the before and after with that very same song. Yes, and it's far from being boring, actually.
Well, this is the end of the first episode, and here I've got like 4 or 5 points that I need to discuss with you, but before this I'd like to hear from you. What have you got from this clip? What are the main points that you can think have some interest and some significance to us as Muslim preachers? If like you are exposed to someone who wants to embrace Islam with this mentality, how do you analyze the way of thinking? How do you think that what he needs, and how I can satisfy his needs? What is missing in his person? What he needs to know? What is the missing component that he needs to get? And Islam can fit it. Right, within the boundaries of Islam. This is like what we said like maybe 2 or 3 lectures ago, that Islam does not rip you off of what you have got, from your wealth, from your position, from your status in the society, from your knowledge. Everything is much appreciated as well, as much as it is in compliance with what Islam says. And when we look at the majority of these things, we find that many of them, except those which are obviously against the nature of humankind itself, everything other than this is allowed, is acceptable in Islam, is permissible in Islam. Right.
We speak about the protocol in Islam, and we satisfied from the protocol in Islam and the access to Islam. He said that he discovered Islam from the Quran, and he knows a lot of things about protocol and everything. I think it's better to know the protocol, because all the people speak about the Muslims. It's not good. They are vulgar or something like that. But when we read about the Islam and discover Islam from the Quran, from the book of the Muslims, you know the truth. You have to know the truth. You know that the Islam, not as the Muslims do, did or done, but there is another Islam, the real Islam, or the truth of Islam. It's different.
Right. Anyone wants to add something else to this, or another point, different point? Before I have like a small comment to this.
He seems that he is looking for something, but he has found it in himself. He keeps searching until his first life, and it seems that he found something. He find it in Islam itself, and he can found it like a peace. He said that he feels peaceful when he goes through this way. That's it. And, not
right.
by connecting the others Muslims, but by the Quran itself.
Well, now you mentioned another point, which is not the point that has been raised. The point that has been raised is about this misconception about understanding Islam and judging Islam by the behavior of some of its followers. That's why he said that he was fortunate that he came to know about Islam from reading a copy of the Holy Quran, and then only after that he met the people in the Muslim community, because he said that it is a very important point to explain to non-Muslims that what a group of people with some distorted ideas about Islam present as what Islam says sometimes might be wrong and has no relevance to Islam at all. So we have to caution people, we have to warn people from this pitfall, from this problem, that what some Muslims do is not the reality of Islam. It is like individual perception and understanding of how Islam can be. It necessarily doesn't have to be the rule, but this is like a distorted idea about Islam. So he was fortunate enough. The other point that